All right. So I'm Evan Davie, the NHC. I'm out of Birmingham, Alabama. So NHC is an aggregator. We actually trademarked a B communication stack provider. What does that mean? It's a fancy word for saying aggregator. So what we do is we have over 90 wholesale agreements now with underlying providers for network connectivity. How does that tie into AI? Well, as people implement more AI solutions, they need more bandwidth, they need more data, you know, they need to free up budget to implement that. That's where a company like NHC comes in. So what we do is, eventually. So really there's three layers to our stack. The base layer of our stack of services is again, is network connectivity. So that everything from, 4G, 5G, LTE services, dedicated fiber, broadband, shared fiber solutions, you name it. In addition, we actually still do a lot of copper POTS lines. I don't know if anybody in here still has a need for analog lines or POTS lines. Right? Exactly. All right. So what we do, we are a competitive local exchange carrier in all 50 states and 10 provinces in Canada. So we can take over those lines. If AT&T is billing you, who knows what they're billing now? It's outrageous. Typically what we'll do is we can migrate those without any need for any resources on site. It's just a bill flip in the back end. And then, there's usually a pretty massive cost savings on that. Once resources are available, we can move to wireless POTS and POTS replacement services. It's a great way to free up budget for other projects that you have, especially if there's a lot of lines, elevators, fax machines, etc. So anything from, again, the network connectivity, hey, send them up. Uh, and line of sight as well. If there's, location in the middle of nowhere, there's no option to get connectivity there. We do line of sight, satellite services, etc. I know Starlink's kind of a hot button now. We're working on that. You go up the stack with us. We're a competitive local exchange carrier. We're CLEC. We own and operate our own switches for things like hosted voice, unified communications, contact center that we can layer on top of the solution. In addition, we can do a lot of SD-WAN. So where we can provide a real value is if a customer is looking for multiple circuits with redundancy, because it's wholesale to two completely separate networks, two separate underlying providers. It's all managed by NHC. Our tier 1 and tier 2 supports in Fort Myers, Florida, all W-2 employees. Tier 3, and our engineers are up in Rochester, New York. So we can provide primary backup connections, and we can layer the voice on top of that. We can manage SD-WAN on top of that, and then the top layer of our stack is just kind of our managed WAN, managed firewall security services. Typically we don't, I'll be completely honest with you guys, we don't do a ton in that firewall space, because when you come in and there's companies like Entirety that are great on security, and, a lot of vendors, that we work with, we work really well with all of our peers and competitors in the industry. We can sell one layer of our stack or the entire stack as a solution. Yeah, I already kind of touched on this, but some of the customer benefits, why people work with us. We are actually the youngest company in the room. We're only 23 years old, 24 years old in another month or two. But we are completely privately held. We've been debt free since 2003. There's a lot of stability there. The way that we go to market are completely partner driven. So if guys like Trust don't recommend us to their clients, then nobody does. One of the things that we're probably most proud of is our average customer tenure is about 11 years. So, we're not just churning and burning customers. We can get more proud of how longer customers stay with us, the better it is for everyone. So, how do we do that? How do we keep customers, for as long as we can? It's transparency and accountability. It's communicating. It's, when you guys call in, you're getting a real person who's W-2 employee that's part of our company that's handling everything. We are the biggest wholesaler for some of the companies out there, AT&T, Spectrum, Frontier, Comcast, where when we need to escalate something with them, we can get it done fast. We're billing, close to $100 million with AT&T. There's no individual customer that's going to be billing that much. So it makes life a whole lot easier, as far as us getting that support, getting similar pricing to what you would get from those major players in the industry. Some of the other things that we do is we have a management access portal that where again it's all about full transparency, where every single note on a project from the time an order's placed through repair tickets, everything is updated in our system real time, and it's customer facing and also partner facing. So if if there's an outage, a fiber cut, something like that that's going on, instead of keeping you on hold while we try to figure out what's going on, what'll happen is our team will as they're putting in notes, you're going to get emails. We're going to notify, Matt and Spencer that, what's going on with it. Because if we don't, then they're going to, not be too happy with us. And, it's all about that communication, right? And communication is key. When we're a communication company, that should be the best thing that we do. So that's really what it comes down to. And on the project management side, the deployment, that's where we really hang our hat is dot the I's, cross the T's. I mentioned UCAS. We always try to vision all the gear in house, and then we send a tech on site to install it and test it, make sure it's working. It's not just drop shipping stuff, telling you, go ahead, good luck. So we try to, really manage everything that we do, because when we're lucky enough to bring on a customer, we want them to stay, forever. And, we want to really try to, I say all the time, I try to disqualify opportunities when we're talking to customers, because I don't want to sell somebody something that's not going to work. If I do that, it makes Mac look bad. You don't recommend this anymore. And then I got to go knocking doors and trying to get business and not get them. So yeah. One more slide. I'll play y'all. There we go. So again, I said transparency, accountability. We give out our C-level executives personal phone numbers to every single customer. We keep our escalation list simple, keep short, and every single customer, we give that out. That's how we hold ourselves accountable. And I am fully aware, and I'd like to point out that I definitely misspelled fourth there. It didn't come up in the auto reply. Should have a U. But